Bruce Johnson. Welcome to my workshop. Today we're starting the first of a series of videos involving the restoration of this arts and crafts chair. Now keep in mind the tips and techniques I'm going to be demonstrating here would apply to just about any piece in your collection. Now this chair literally came out of my barn a few days ago. Originally it would have been part of a 4, 6, or 8 chair dining room set. My intent is to use it with one of my desks. Now, one of the things I figured out when I first saw it was that it very likely came from the workshops of Gustav Stickley, and I knew that without even looking for a shop mark. One of the things we figured out is that the major arts and crafts designers all had certain design elements and construction elements that were consistent through their work. You could call it their DNA. And if you learn these design elements, you can identify a piece that's not signed. So how do you do that? Well, we're lucky. The manufacturers issued catalogs periodically during the arts and crafts era, and many of those catalogs have been reprinted for us today. So if there's a particular manufacturer or designer you want to collect, you get a hold of the reprint catalogs, you study them, and then you know what to look for. Take for instance this chair in Gustav Stickley. When I first saw this, I saw these 3 horizontal slats in the back, and this gave this chair its nickname, the ladder back chair. And this was a design element Stickley used from 1901 through the end of his career in 1915. And when I saw as well that these slats were pegged in with small oak pegs, it again gave me a good idea that this was a Stickley chair. Now Stickley wasn't the only one who did that, but he was very consistent with it. Now on the chair seat, this green fabric I recognize as not being original, but the square pyramid tacks holding it in are original. Whoever took off the original leather seat, and it was probably worn out, saved the tacks and put them back in. And these tacks are as much a signature of Gustav Stickley's as any shop mark. On the front of the chair, this wide slat on the front between the legs is another design element we associate with Gustav Stickley. It too is pegged into the legs, as are the side rails, which are located one above and one below that wide rail across the front. Now on the inside of this chair, there's a construction device I want to point out to you, and this is a corner seat brace. Now on Gustav Stickley chairs, we know from experience that he had this curved a special way and really didn't change it much. And it was held on not just with a nail, but with 2 screws as well. Now the question still comes up, is it signed? Now arts and crafts manufacturers often sign their work with a paper label, a decal, a brand, or maybe even a metal tag. Now when I was looking at this particular chair, I noticed that on the underside of the seat, there are the remnants of a paper label. Now it doesn't look like much, but from experience I knew what an original Gustav Stickley paper label would look like. And I found one on the bottom of a drawer to a nightstand. And when you see this one, you recognize that all it takes is a small remnant to tell you that yes, this is a Stickley paper label. Now Stickley also used another way to mark his furniture. It was called a joiner's compass. And that's an old woodworking tool, and he used the image of that with the words "Als ik kan," which are Flemish for "as best I can." And then he added his name underneath that as well. Now many times this appeared in the form of a small red decal on one of his pieces of furniture. In this case, it's on the inside of the rear stretcher. But keep in mind, this chair is well over 100 years old, and that small red decal is badly smudged and has begun to fade. They may be hard to find, so keep a flashlight handy or take a piece out in the bright sunlight so you can see a little bit of it. Now shop marks can be forged or they can be forgotten. The important thing to remember when identifying a piece of furniture is to look for those design elements first, and then let the shop mark confirm what the chair or the piece of furniture told you. Now here at artsandcraftscollector.com, we're collecting shop marks. Take a look at those we have here on the website, and if you've got one that we don't have, send us a picture. We'd like to include it to help out other collectors. Now next on our series of videos, we're going to be giving this chair a complete evaluation so we know step by step what we're going to do to restore it. I hope you join us for that one as well.